I shall bring justice to Westeros. Every man shall reap what he has sown, from the highest lord to the lowest gutter rat. And some will lose more than the tips of their fingers, I promise you. They have made my kingdom bleed, and I do not forget that. The good does not wash the bad, nor the bad the good. It is not a question of wanting. The throne is mine as Robert's heir. That is law. After me it must pass to my daughter, unless Selyse should finally give me a son. I am king. Wants do not enter into it. I have a duty to my daughter, to the realm, even to Robert. He loved me but little, I know, yet he was my brother. The Lannister woman gave him horns and made a motley fool of him. She may have murdered him as well as she murdered Jon Arryn and Ned Stark. For such crimes there must be justice, starting with Cersei and her abominations. But only starting. I mean to scour that court clean, as Robert should have done after the Trident. These pardoned lords would do well to reflect on that. Good men and true will fight for Joffrey, wrongly believing him the true king. A Northman might even say the same of Robb Stark. But these lords who flocked to my brother's banners knew him for a usurper. They turned their backs on the rightful king for no better reason than dreams of power and glory, and I have marked them for what they are. Pardoned them, yes, forgiven, but not forgotten. I stopped believing in the gods the day I saw the Windproud break up across the bay. Any gods so monstrous as to drown my mother and father would never have my worship, I vowed. In King's Landing, the High Septon would prattle at me, how all justice and goodness flowed from the Seven. But all I ever saw of either was made by men. When I was a lad, I found an injured goshawk and nursed her back to health. Proudwing, I named her. She would perch on my shoulder and flutter from room to room after me, and take food from my hand. But she would not soar. Time and again I would take her hawking, but she never flew higher than the treetops. Robert called her Weak Wing. He owned a gyre falcon named Thunderclap, who never missed her strike. One day our great-uncle Sir Hobbit told me to try a different bird, that I was making a fool of myself with Proudwing, he said. And he was right. The Seven have never brought me so much as a sparrow. It is time I tried another hawk, Davos. A red hawk. We were locked in Storm's End to starve, but Robert commanded me to hold the castle, no matter the cost. We were forgotten. Robert and Ned Stark, they were the heroes, the glorious rebels, marching from battle to battle, liberating towns from the yoke of the Mad King, while I held Storm's End with 500 men. Renly offered me a peach at our parley, mocked me, defied me, threatened me, and offered me a peach. He brought his doom on himself with his treason. But I did love him, Davos. I know that now. I swear I will go to my grave thinking of my brother's peach. I never asked for this, no more than I asked to be king. Yet dare I disregard her? We do not choose our destinies. Yet we must do our duty, no? Great or small, we must do our duty. I know the cost. Last night, gazing into that hearth, I saw things in the flames as well. I saw a king, a crown of fire on his brows, burning, Davos. His own crown consumed his flesh and turned him into ash. You think I need Melisandre to tell me what that means? Or you? I never asked for this crown. Gold is cold and heavy on the head. But so long as I am the king, I have a duty. If I must sacrifice one child to the flames to save 1 million from the dark, Sacrifice is never easy, Davos. Or it is no true sacrifice. Lord Seaworth is a man of humble birth, but he reminded me of my duty, when all I could think of was my rights. I had the cart before the horse, Davos said. I was trying to win the throne to save the kingdom, when I should have been trying to save the kingdom to win the throne. Granite does not burn easily. The castle can be rebuilt in time. It's not the walls that make a lord. It's the man.
Sire, who better to command the Black Cloaks than a man who once commanded the Gold?
Any one of you, I would think. Even the cook.
A sacrifice will prove our faith still burns true, sire. The old gods of the north have sent this storm upon us. Only R'hllor can end it. We must give him an unbeliever.
Half my army is made up of unbelievers. I will have no burnings. Pray harder. When the cold winds rise, we shall live or die together. It is time we made alliance against our common foe. Demons made of snow and ice and cold. The ancient enemy. The only enemy that matters. I defeated your uncle Victarion and his iron fleet off Fair Isle, the first time your father crowned himself. I held Storm's End against the power of the Reach for a year, and took Dragonstone from the Targaryens. I smashed Mance Rayder at the wall, though he had 20 times my numbers. Tell me, Turncloak, what battles has the bastard of Bolton ever won, that I should fear him? We all know what my brother would do. Robert would gallop up to the gates of Winterfell alone, break them with his warhammer, and ride through the rubble to slay Roose Bolton with his left hand, and the bastard with his right. I am not Robert, but we will march and we will free Winterfell, or die in the attempt.